look at Kansas City, that's how crazy the league is. Like they've had a couple. That play goes for a touchdown. They stop them. They win that game. They have a chance in another game with a deep ball to Marquez. They have another chance, in a game early in the season. Really, 3 games. I feel like they probably think it could have gone the other way. They're 8-5, sitting at 11-2 would be a whole different ball game because I believe that Pat's has he played any playoff games on the road? No. He hasn't, right? No. So that'll be a new experience. Not that he couldn't do it; he's a phenomenal player. But they're going to have a hard time getting that 1 seed. I think it is.
You know what Travis Kelce did on that play?
What did he do?
2 things at once.
Amen.
He was tight end and he was quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of the greatest plays we will never be able to celebrate because of the lineup offsides. And people forget, Kadarius Toney was the one who scored a touchdown on that play.
That's right. Yeah.
That's going into his Rolodex as well. That's going into his highlight reel for the rest of his life as well. You think Kadarius Toney's happy about it? No way.
Yes.
No way.
Back to Corey Linsley. Corey Linsley held on one of the greatest plays in my career. Like 3 guys missed in the pocket and threw this ball as I was getting drilled in the back of my legs to Devontae Adams against Chicago in the back of the end zone. So no one ever gives a shit about that play because Corey just had his hold on.
This guy.
Hey, Corey, figure it out. Don't hold. Yeah, we were talking.
If you go back to the play, though, Corey, it's one of those interesting holds where a guy just overpowers another guy. Like Corey literally, this dude just.
Of course, I didn't hold. I won. You're talking about a great play for you. I would have this. This fucking plays on my highlight reel too. I just picked the guy up and dominated him. Football is wild because listen to the way we're talking. And I don't know how you're talking, but like how we're talking. Obviously, we're part of the problem. We get it. You remind us every single week. Bills get that win there, very easily could not have. Just right here, right there.
Mm-hmm.
Bills don't win. Okay, just literally, Bills don't win. Instead, saw that. What's that?
Just like AJ and Laura always talked about, with their own games. Like the NFL is a game of inches.
Certainly is.
Yep.
A couple of them.
Yeah.
Just a couple inches.
And
2, 6.
just 1 or 2 at different times can make a big difference. So,
not that 6 inches here. It didn't even, you know what I mean? It didn't even look back. But we're talking about the Bills being like back. You heard did you see the locker room afterwards where they were talking to Sean McDermott and the players like, we got your back. Like that was like a real emotional moment almost. It's like, wait a second, are the Bills ready to go? But if they lose that game after what happened last week, it's like Bills are dead. What a catastrophe.
Yeah.
They let Travis Kelce throw a pass in the middle of the play to beat them. And let alone what happened last week. It's like, you're right, I guess, that we do maybe overreact a little bit to some small stuff.
But team vibes, like especially for the Bills. Could you imagine that flight back to Baghdad if they lost to Kansas City? It'd be a nightmare.
They play in Buffalo.
Excuse me. Buffalo.
Touche, Connor.
Some of your best. Right?
Legitimately, I have no freaking fracking idea what's going.
The following is a non-profit fan-based parody. Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball GT are all owned by Funimation, Toei Animation, and Akira Toriyama. Please support the official release.
Quarterback for that Colts team that made it to the NFC Championship game was a rookie, and he was being.
Oh yeah, I forgot I was even live. Watch this right quick.
By an interim coach by the name of Bruce Arians for that particular season, all the way up until the playoffs, because Chuck Pagano, brand new head coach from the Baltimore Ravens DC position, had been diagnosed with leukemia week 4. We had an early bye, week 5 maybe. We had an early bye. He has a couple bruises on his body. It's his first time ever being an NFL head coach. He's coached for 30 years or whatever. Obviously, his wife, Tina, who's a saint, she was here last week, incredible lady. She like almost forces him to go and get it checked out. As soon as he goes to the hospital, they tell him he's not leaving. We're running tests, we're running scans. You have surgery starting tomorrow. You have this leukemia. We're told whenever we come back in the team meeting room that, hey, this is what's taking place. Obviously, there's some emotional players who have history with Chuck Pagano since college. Like Reggie, I've known Chuck literally since he was 17 years old. Couple questions, couple doctors in there. And then Bruce Arians is going to get him, coach. We'll keep the light on. We go on a run. We end up making it to the fucking AFC Championship game where we play against the team with the flavor football. Like, all right. So then everybody starts crowning Andrew Luck as the next guy. And he had been crowning as the next guy literally since high school. This is the next John Elway. This guy is smarter than everybody. He's built better than everybody. And his football IQ is through the roof. His dad, Oliver Luck, not only an incredible quarterback himself, but also a man who is a very, very accomplished businessman in the world of sport. So Andrew Luck has backgrounds from Germany, growing up in the Alps when his dad was working for the World League, then in Houston where he was running the Dynamo, the MLS team, let alone all his football connections throughout the world. So Andrew Luck is like maybe the most cultured, athletically gifted quarterback of all time since high school. They're saying this about him. In his rookie year, we go all the way to the fucking AFC Championship game. And then from that point forward, all we would witness was greatness from Andrew Luck on the football field. But what we would also see is him getting his fucking ass beat on the football field. Literally every game, there was a hit that he would take that would make you think, whoa, this guy's got to be in pain. But he was so big, so strong, stood right back up, always complimenting the people that hit him so hard that everybody just assumed that he was okay. A report is now coming out, a very long article written by Seth Wickersham.
Sham.
Seth Wickersham.
Like this guy's a sham.
Well, you say that because he's written some things about the New England Patriots.
Just an example of the word sham.
Okay, got it. Anyways, Seth Wickersham had the incredible opportunity to write about Andrew Luck's retirement, why it happened, where he's at, what he's up to. And to be honest, Ty read it because Ty has a very big brain. Connor attempted to read it. Here's one of the quotes from the article, and I would just like somebody tell me what he wrote about after I read this and then what the article was. So this was one of the quotes that was tweeted alongside the article link to go read at ESPN Plus, which is a special platform you have to pay to read.
Yes.
But it's about Andrew Luck. This is a big time story.
Yeah.
Andrew hasn't talked to anybody. Andrew hasn't talked to anybody publicly since he retired 9 days before season started. So this article, obviously, everybody's looking forward to. Smart business to keep it behind a paywall by the ESPN folks. Nonetheless, it's all going to get out. This was the one paragraph that was kind of slaughtered with it. Luck had started to tell himself a series of stories of being a quarterback, of being a husband and father, of the injury cycle providing the gift of awareness, of having made a decision. He told himself stories of a former football player whose story made sense. Grieving what you know best, he says, often until those stories made sense, but none of them netted out in resolution or assurance that he hoped would erase this feeling he lived with and had no choice but to try to talk out. This insane conflict of giving his life to becoming one of the best in the world at his craft and wondering what's left when it's over. Therapy helped Luck to arrive at the clarity that I don't need more clarity, he says. Language that felt both sufficient and inadequate because it failed to yield what he most wanted to know. Which choices are the right ones? And are they right forever? And if they fade or if their edges recede like an iceberg, were they wrong even if they still feel right? I doubt I will ever find the answers, he says. All of them. Or any answers. Okay, so the mental gymnastics I just had to go through to read that. Is the entire article like that?
Good reading.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. That was advanced reader level 1000. I asked the group this morning or whatever. But is there any answers in this thing? Because I just read this one that was tweeted alongside the link, and I tried to read it. I'm like, this is a difficult read for me as somebody who's a part of a fucking book club.
Right.
Okay, I'm part of a book club. Never read a book. Part of a book club. So it's kind of on the internet all day, every day. There was a lot of word jumble there, but I think what happened was he's just conflicted by it all. Did you read the entire thing? What was your big takeaway about it?
Yeah, I read most of it. This excerpt is pretty convoluted and confusing, but this actually
Good work.
kind of goes well with what we were talking about today with like Brady and Rodgers and these guys. A big part of it is basically like he committed everything to being quarterback, and when you do that, like everything kind of falls by the wayside. Like he talks about his relationship with his then girlfriend, now wife, and being a dad, and how everything in his being basically went to trying to be the best possible quarterback he could be. And then on top of like being injured and having to rehab, like it didn't really give much room for anything else in his life. Like he committed his entire life.
Well, we heard that about Tom, right? I mean,
Exactly. Which kind of is why it makes sense when we're talking about with guys like that. It's like when you're at this level and you're a quarterback who is one of the greats of all time, like that's just kind of how it is. Like if you want to be one of those guys, you don't really have a choice but to commit your entire life to it. And that's why we see some of the, I mean, you know, it's not the same thing with Brady and his family and stuff like that or whatever you want to talk about, but there's a reason these guys a lot of times end up, you know, you always talk about the Hall of Fame speeches where the first thing they're saying is, hey, to my wife and to my kids, like, I'm sorry I wasn't around all the time. I definitely could have been a much better father. But I think that's basically what this is saying is, you know, like where he's at right now and kind of coming to peace with his decision, because I think he still loves football, but it came down to a situation where it was kind of like his wife was kind of done. Like she, you know, like was accomplished in her own right. She had
There's a gymnastics move named after his wife because how good she is in gymnastics. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's like a fucking
In like the Czech Republic.
yeah, like a stud over there at Stanford.
Yeah,
as
he
well.
met her at Stanford. She was getting an MBA. Obviously, if you go to like, you know, they're not letting everybody into Stanford. Like, it's not like she's some dum dum who got lucky that she married Andrew Luck. Like, she's very intelligent, accomplished in her own right, had a bunch of stuff she wanted to do. But that's what she was kind of saying is like, hey, if your husband chooses this profession and this is what he does and he's this good, like you have to just be at his service pretty much. Like it doesn't really give you the option to do anything that you want to do on your own. So it was a lot of like Luck basically coming to terms with like, am I okay that I kind of just walked away? I still love this. Did I make the right choice? I don't know if I'll ever know, but it does really seem like he is actually at peace and like genuinely happy with where he is at right now. But it also really underscores what we talked about with those other guys and why it is so easy to see, like why it's impossible for these guys to walk away.
How long did it take you to read that thing?
I mean, probably about 35 minutes, 40 minutes. It's a long read. It is.
Well, yeah, but you're like a solid reader, like good reader as well. I couldn't even imagine if I attempted that thing, how many times I had to.
See, we read,
What?
we don't comprehend.
Yeah,
what we read.
I can read through it. You know, you do like what was that game where you had to read like
Attention and comprehension is a problem.
yeah, it's just well, I can do it in tweets. You show me a tweet, I can probably remember it a week later who said what it affected them. But just as what like that whole paragraph right there, I mean, I read I'm like, wow, what the fuck? Is there any answers in this? I don't
All my ladies in the club with their own money. Now, grab your girls and tell them he ain't get shit from me. Say, oh, if you don't need a nigga for nothing.
Saya hop on a jet. Oh. We are fighting.
I'm so disappointed in you. So very disappointed. Sadly, your sword exhibits only fear. When you counter, it's intensity fear. Kill. When you attack, it's fear killing. When you attack, you kill. Understand?
What was that one guy I was listening to? Wasn't that? I know they liked it. Mhm.
I started.
Okay, I'm bullshitting right now. Oh shoot. Oh. Well, I got time now.
Either way, you know I'm gonna go. I already had a few. Every part of me is dead and gone. I've been getting over you. I already had a few drinks, few things on my mind. AT started from the top. Boy, you put a love spell on me, baby. I've been crushing. I don't need nobody, just your body. I've been craving, yeah. Siphon, this is hard.
I like listening to new type of music.
Go inside, date night, hot mess. Her kid's line, he hates rides. Two keys when it heart's on fire.
I'm about to have a lit playlist. I'm just.
I paint a picture in my head. It looks something like a train wreck.
Okay.
I know you really wanna hurt me again, cause it's fun for you. I know I wreck my life if I ever trusted you. Fuck you, baby, you won't waste the time. I can see you struggling. Promise you'll find love again. Yeah, it will be alright. Why are you so hard on yourself? Why you gotta try so hard? Counting calories and carbs. Another trip across the world. I go so hard trying to make you feel just like a queen. You don't need a camera to make a scene. We're born like that, no Maybelline. When you first wake up, you're bad to me. Pop another Addy, no sleep tonight. Can't push the whistle on feet and right. Over to the crib, cause we need this life. But you take so long making up your mind. Little black dress, be your back. You leave 10 times, I'll take you back. Why you wanna look like someone else? Why you so hard on yourself? I can see you struggling. Promise you'll find love again. Yeah, it will be alright. Why are you so hard on yourself? Try not to fall apart. You're perfect just the way you are. It will be alright. Why are you so hard on yourself? Why you gotta compare our lives to pics you see on your timeline? Another shot of Hennessy. I try so hard not to act like a dick when I'm around your friends. Mood swings up and down again. Hollywood Hills where we play pretend. No one happy but they're good at
What's up, Ernest?
Pop up in the party, show face tonight. I don't really smoke, but I need the vibe. She let it get high, she need
Welcome
the
to the
vibe.
cream.
So high, swear she could fly. And just like that, you you get sad. Let's go home, girl, this party's so whack. Why you wanna be like someone else? Why are you so hard on yourself? I can see you struggling. Yeah, promise you'll find love again. It will be alright. It'll be alright. You're so hard on yourself. Try not
How you doing today?
to
Welcome to the stream. So this is what happens when I get comfortable.